Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to go over our motion offense for our varsity, which is also the triangle offense. We've made a couple of changes to it based on just kind of our players' overall movement and their preferences, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same as what you might see if you watch the Bulls in the 90s, the Lakers in the 2000s, and even the Knicks at some point whenever Derek Fisher was coaching the team. So it's similar to our JV offense, which in the sense of how it starts and where players are going to be positioned. However, we kind of give these guys more freedom and more options of what to do. So if you watch our JV offense, these two big men here basically do the same job constantly. They're either pulling to the top or they're diving down low. Pulling to the top, diving down low. In this situation here for our offense, we give them the opportunity to end up in the corner, to the wing, to the high post, to the top. At any given time, they could end up somewhere different. That way, it makes the defense kind of guess, and it makes the offense a lot less predictable as far as what we're doing, and they can't really necessarily key in just on one person. Okay, so we're going to kind of go through that there and show you how that happens. The offense starts the same. All right, basically in the sense of I'm either going to pass the ball to the corner, or pass the ball to the wing and go to the corner, or push to the corner. In this case, they passed and went to the corner. We told our guys, like, if the big man wanted to pull up, he could, but typically now we send our guard to pull up to the top as opposed to the post. Every now and again, the post will pull up, and that means the guard would just fall down and replace there. So let's say if the ball goes, it's two rotated over to the top. Now we'll give a different option. Here's the push option. All right, so basically what happened, instead of passing the ball to 3, we just dribbled over and pushed. And as I was saying, 4 decided to come to the top. So 2 now just rotated to fill and replace there, okay? So now we're going to go through opposite side. So we passed it, and now we're going to the corner. 3 comes up to the top. 4 kind of creeps up almost to the high post side. And there's the push option. Okay, and 3 again came and just followed the ball, and we formed our triangle. So we're constantly, guys, trying to form a triangle or a 2-man game, which we'll kind of highlight that in a second. First option that you have is an post entry pass. If the ball is passed into the post, what we've done is we send our ball side corner to cut and look for the ball, especially if this guy's on that first hash mark and not too deep. Okay, if he's really deep, we may send him over the top, but most of the time we're going to catch it somewhere here to where a little backdoor cut may be in order. And if you watch the normal triangle offense, this guard is actually supposed to come and screen and pin down this guy. However, we kind of found that it was a little cluttered for us, so what we do is we just rotate everybody over. So 2 clears out, 1 and 3 rotated from wing and top. They rotated over from corner to wing, and now you see 2 is going to clear out, and we give these guys the option of what to do. So 5 could screen for 2, and 2 could end up at the top, or 5 can just pop up and 2 could end up down there. In this situation, we pin down for 2 to end up at the top. And in this situation, we see 5 just shot up to the top and 2 stayed put. Okay, again, it gives our guys a little bit more freedom of what to do, a lot less predictable on offense, and it makes the defense kind of guess about what's happening. Okay, and again, just a reminder, you're always trying to form on one side is a triangle, and then the other side, you're trying to form the 2-man game. There's your triangle, there's your 2-man game. And if for some reason the ball was reversed around and this guy ran over here and formed a triangle, this guy shifted over, your 2-man game will be on this side here. Okay, so that makes it really easy for our guys to understand of where to fill. We're either doing a triangle or a 2-man game, and so we're always looking to fill those spots. Another option out of the triangle is a pick and roll to the basket. The ball's in the corner. We can set a pick and roll here away from the baseline, and then we're still in our triangle. Just gives us another option to kind of get freed up. If the ball's reversed, there's a couple of options here, but what we do is we look for a pick and roll or pinch post. Pinch post is going to be this guy's going to flash up. Really important that his back is to the basket and they catch the ball and position themselves in a way that the ball cannot get stolen. And what's going to happen is the guy that passes it to him is going to come around to receive a dribble handoff for a layup. If that's not open, they can slip and look to get the ball later. So if they go in, dribble handoff's not there, they slip around, might be open there. If that's not open, then he comes all the way through, and they'll end up all the way in the corner if he's not open. Okay, so that's the pinch post. He also could have done a pick and roll here, kind of give them the option, of course, of what to do in that particular situation. Okay, so now what happens here on the pinch post, anytime the pinch post happens, we do a screen away with the guy in the corner in the wing. So notice how one screen for three, so his options are dribble handoff, that's not open, he can look to, maybe four can slip to the post, you can give it to him there, you can pass it off there, or two could simply turn towards the basket now, take a shot once this guy's cleared, or attack the rim. So in this case, we kind of simulate the screen away from there. So the ball's back to the pinch post. And in this case, what they do is they form the triangle on this side. So what this guy should do is rotate over here to get set up for the two-man game. And this guy rotates over to the top. So now we're going to start the playoff right at the start from the beginning. See if you can identify what's going to happen next. Now, notice what 4 did here, similar to our JV offense. When the ball hit the top, they went and they got position. So if you have a mismatch, every now, especially against a man-to-man, you may get a big that happens to switch off, and there's a guard guarding them now. If they notice a mismatch, they should immediately go into the paint, and then that's a little two-man game, high-low action there. So here's a pinch post option again. Screen away from the ball. Ball goes to corner. And in this situation, what they did is they rotated over to form the triangle. 4 could have also maybe screened away for 1 to get him over there, a little flex screen there. And then we just form our triangle two-man game again. So ball enters the post. Cut, rotate, field to the top. And now we have a pick and roll here. For an easy basket. Next, we're going to see what happens and why we use the JV motion offense as an introductory to this, because it's kind of worked into this as well. We're going to see if the pinch post is not open, because it's not always going to be open. But maybe we don't have good position. Maybe the guy's, denying us here. We can't get the ball. And so if he catches it above the three-point line, now it looks similar to what we had for our JV offense. So that means this guy now is going to cut through and look to fill into the post. If they're open, he gives it to him. If not, he goes here. And then we just look to fill that block spot as well. So 4 can dive like they normally did in our previous offense. 5 could have also just rotated over. But in that case, that was the best option. So now we're still in our triangle on one side, two-man game on the other. And then here's more of the continuity. Pinch post, screen away. Look for a handoff. Could also cut through the middle if the outside has been used several times. Don't be too predictable. Fake outside and go to the inside. And as you see here, we're just constantly filling and replacing. And the key thing is to kind of give your guys some freedom here. Is when they touch the ball, understand that they have options to pass the ball to their teammates, but also looking for openings for themselves offensively. If they're open and they have a shot, if they're, notice the defense is out of position as we're working the ball around and they have an open lane to the basket, they can do that as well. But notice how it's a constant fill and replace. Constant fill and replace is all it is. And it's designed every time you touch the ball on the court, in that spot, there are supposed to be so many different, just looking for different options of what you can do, and making sure that your players understand that. And the key thing is just once they understand the game of basketball, to give them that freedom to make those decisions. And this is definitely not something you want to run at the lower school or middle school level. This is even probably a stretch for high school, maybe more or less for college and pros. But we're doing it at the high school level now. And as your guys run it, especially with teaching that introductory offense that I keep talking about, the JV motion offense, it gives them such more of a sense of where to be on the court when you introduce this. And then hopefully by the time they get to that varsity level, their IQ offensively is getting there to where they can look for different options every time, whether it be they touch the ball at the top, in the post, a high post, a corner of the wing. They can make good decisions on what to do with the ball and how to score.